come play with us forever and ever. Man, why are British children so freaking scary? I have no clue, but they terrify me. Well, I'm Paul, and this is Rideout Reviews, and we're going to do a review on the movie Dr. Sleep. This movie is directed by Mike Flanagan and stars Ewan McGregor, Rebecca Ferguson, and Kyla Curran. Now, it's the sequel to the classic horror film The Shining. It takes place with the events of the original and continues into his adulthood when he meets up with another girl that possesses The Shining, and she is in danger because of the amount of shine that she has. So let me tell you the good, guys. So this movie has great acting. The little girl, man, she was phenomenal. I could just kind of like understand where she was at, the joy she had, and even like the braveness or the bravery that she displayed. Ewan McGregor, man, he's always awesome. And he did a great job in this movie. I could see the fear that he has, as well as just kind of like an arc that he carried a little bit, just trying to be able to overcome some of his addictions and stuff. I thought, wow, that's he's doing a very good job of this. I can really feel those emotions. And his separation from his father and the pain that he had and the incident when he was a child. Yeah, he did a good job at that, and I thought that was great. I thought he did a good job. Also thought that the villains in this movie were great. Man, they were evil. I'm telling you what, man, they just made me think I do not want to mess with those dudes because of the power that they displayed, but the just hatred or pure evilness of the character. I mean, when you watch the movie, you can see them doing things that just display that horror or that depravity that they have, and it is jacked up. Also, I think the graphics or CGI or makeup, I'm not even quite sure which one it was, but I know that in this movie, man, it was beautiful. There was like a lot of CGI, especially effects, where they're flying and they're showing a twisty-turvy type of world. That stuff was phenomenal. It literally looked like it was real. Like you could just see it happening anywhere. It was cool. Also, there was some ghouls and demons and stuff, ghosts that looked really good with their makeup and the way they were displayed. There was one scene in particular where the young girl looks so scary. It's like wow. It was crazy, man. So you're gonna love that if you like scary makeup, scary scenes like that. It was really good. Another thing is I really enjoyed the story. So there's like a whole mythology and lore behind the characters that are in here, and you don't get lost about the things that they do and how they do it and why they do it, because they really do a good job in presenting what those characters have to do with the magic or the spell that's going on in this movie. It develops that quite well, and it does it really quickly, so you get into the movie pretty fast, and you can just start knowing what's kind of going on with these powers that these people have. And they do it in two ways, and I think it was a very good job they do it. They set up the bad and the good. That was a great job. So this movie in that aspect, really good. But what about the bad? Well, I think it was a bit slow. Now, I know I started off saying, or ended up saying before I got to this bad part, that they developed the story really quickly and got you into the show, and they do. But the nature of this movie is to build a lot of suspense, to build that terror, and they do it well, but some scenes I feel like kind of take away from that for the length of time in developing a character. There's a special scene in the movie, and you know what I'm talking about, whenever he starts to get tempted by his he's an alcoholic, and so he gets tempted by the alcohol. And I thought, man, you know, it was okay, I guess, but for me it kind of dragged the movie along. I know they wanted to develop a certain arc or relationship between the character, between him and his father, but I just really felt like that kind of slow played the power of the suspense they were trying to build. So I I can see why they did it, but I wasn't a big fan of it. Another thing that was tough on me was there was a pretty terrifying scene that just really broke me down in the movie. And so I just didn't like it. I know what it was there for, because the reason they did it brought one aspect of a character out so they can move forward to the fulfillment of the movie. And another is also to continue to show how evil and depraved that these villains are in the movie, and it succeeded in volumes for both. But for me, I think it was just a bit too graphic, and so it's tough like that in that aspect. And it's emotionally graphic. It's not really gory graphic, even though there is a portion of that. It's just emotionally graphic, and it kind of was difficult to watch. And I think one more thing, I said that they also developed the story really well, but I would have liked to know just a tiny bit more about the villain's background, because in it talks about, well, it kind of foreshadows that they have been not foreshadows, that's the wrong word, but it kind of shows you that they've been around for a long, long time. And it would be cool, maybe this isn't a bad thing, but maybe they could like just branch off a whole nother movie about this kind of lore, and how maybe people have been trying to defeat them, or what they've been doing for the centuries upon centuries it seems like that they've been alive, which is pretty amazing. I think that would be a great thing. I don't know if Stephen King, because he's the author of the book that they moved this to a movie, has anything about that, but I know that this was a pretty awesome lore, and Stephen King does that in a lot of his movies. So I wouldn't particularly say it's a bad that they didn't do that. I just would have liked to know just a little bit more about that. So what am I going to rate this movie? Well, I am going to give it 4 out of 5 R's. This movie was really great, well directed. It was very well acted, beautiful story, so great screenplay. Just a phenomenal movie. I think it was good. I enjoyed it. And I'm sure that if you like scary movies and you love Stephen King type of movies as well, man, I think you're going to enjoy it too. So you should go check it out in that aspect. Another thing that I like to do, me and my wife as well, she's not here today, but she doesn't like scary movies, so she didn't take part in this one. But that's okay. She does other stuff. Anyway, another thing that we like to do on this show is we like to talk about if a movie is redeemable or not. Well, to me, I'm going to have to say I don't think it's redeemable because of that scene that I talked about earlier that I didn't like, that it was very, very difficult emotionally. And the reason they put it in there was to boost or help develop the movie, but it doesn't do justice to maybe how we should live or how a worldview is shown for how people look at the world right now as a Christian or a non-Christian. So I just thought it was tough, and I couldn't see it being in there, and I think that it would have done well without it. So personally, I don't think that it's a redeemable movie. But again, each person has their own conscience that they should go by. So I do thank you guys for watching, and appreciate you if you would hit that thumbs up if you like this review. Also, check out some of our other videos we got. We do Christian perspectives, which I'll do one on this soon, and we're just going to talk about like how God or we can find spiritual formation in movies that we've watched or TV shows that we've watched. So I know you'll enjoy that. So come and check it out. If you haven't hit the subscription button, smash that subscription. Bang that bell so you can get some of our videos and know when they come out, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching one more time, and as always, keep watching movies.